Hey guys, season's right around the corner, and I've got one more product that I want to get out to you guys before season gets here, and that is the XOP Rome. If you're familiar with the new XOP drop, there's one big difference about this, and that is the mesh con seat, and we're going to go over that today. We're going to go over all the specs with the Rome, the differences in between the Fly and the Superfly and the Rome, the weight differences. This is a big boy stand. It's got the 350-pound weight rating and all of that. You guys that have been blowing my messages up asking me how come I have not done a review of this stand, there is one reason and one reason only, and that's because I did not have my hand on it. So whenever it comes to stands, I like to climb in them, I like to play in them, I like to hunt in them if possible before I get the review out. There was one of these, I think, in existence, and so it took me a while to get my hands on it to be able to get this video out to you guys, but this thing's dropping today, so I wanted to get it out as soon as possible. So if you notice the new area we're in, I've got a buddy that is helping me finish up my shop, and I came home from the Mobile Hunters Expo, and he put a tree inside. So the plus side about that is just like tonight, I had some technical difficulties getting the other video together. Got out here, it's 9:30 at night, and here's the stand. We're in the shop. So rain, snow, sleet, or shine, I'll be able to get these videos done. So super awesome. And I just wanted to shout out Riley real quick and say I appreciate you for that, buddy. But anyways, let's get into the stand. So this is the XOP Rome. We'll talk about it while it's sitting here right now in all of its glory in the meat shelf stacking position. Like I said, the number one thing you're going to notice is that it has the mesh seat. Now, with it having the mesh seat, just like the old mesh seats that they ended up coming out with for the Cold World and the Retrograde, you do have the pad that you can run on it if you want to. Plus side is this here doubles as like a pouch, and you've also got the molly strip on the bottom. So if you had this thing on here like this and it was hanging below, you wanted to get a dump pouch or something like that, you can put it down there to be able to keep your gear in it. Once you get up in the stand, you flip it down and it's readily accessible. So that's the number one cool thing about it. The next thing is, just like their other stands right there, you see that guy spinning around in circles. You've got the quarter turn. We're going to quarter turn that. This thing will fold out. So you have two different adjustments on this stand. Number one, over here on the side, XOP kind of does this on every one of their stands, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjustments. And what that does, guys, is it adjusts your platform. Is it going to make a huge difference? No, but if you get on a tree that's just not perfectly straight and you want to bring that platform up just a little bit or down just a little bit, you adjust that before you cam the stand in, and you're good to go there. The next adjustment is going to be in the seat itself. If your seat is angled down, like right now you can see it's angled down, I go to twisting what you had just a second ago to use as a lock, twisting it back the other way, basically tightening it up, and it separates that gap. As you can see now, the seat's kind of up at an up cant. So this is a dual use thing up here. A, yes, it works to make it into the meat shelf, and then B, it also works to adjust your seat. So if you get on a tree that's not perfectly straight, you adjust this and you adjust this, and it brings that seat to where you want it, and it brings the platform to where you want it. The next thing we're going to jump into, guys, is the specs of this stand, and that's because I know in my messages there's a lot of guys. XOP's done a really good job at keeping that 350-pound weight rating over the last few years. This year, they dropped that a little bit on the Fly and the Superfly to 300 pounds. Immediately when they started talking about it, people, I don't want to say complaining, but maybe a little bit of bad mouthing about not having a stand that was 350-pound weight rating. Here it is. So the Rome is that stand. This stand comes in at 7.7 pounds. So it is still one of the lightest stands you can get, and especially having that 350-pound weight rating. The next thing we're going to talk about is the seat height. So you've got 18 inches from the platform to the seat. The actual seat itself is a 15 by 9 inch seat. So you got 15 inches wide, 9 inches deep. Once it folds down, I think you'll see when we get it on the tree in a minute. We'll talk about all this stuff while it's on the tree. But you'll see you've got plenty of room up there for you a little bit larger guys. Again, if you're real wide, I don't know if this is one that's for you. You might want to look at the Rubicon and the Ion. But if you're one of those just heavy built guys, this stand is going to be awesome for you guys. It is that answer for that little bit heavier weight rating of a stand. The next thing we're going to talk about, guys, is the platform size. So the platform, you have a 26 by 16 inch platform, super large platform. Again, I wear size 12 shoes. So when we get it on the tree in a minute, we'll talk about that as well. But all in all, super well built stand. One thing you're not going to get out of this stand that you do if you've climbed on the Fly and the Superfly is you're not going to get as much flex out of this stand. And again, it's built that way. It's got the heavier weight rating. So the next thing we're going to talk about is what comes with the stand as far as attachment method goes. So as you see here, you've got the little knobs here, just like their old style stands for the most part. If you're familiar with the new drop of the Fly and the Superfly, it has the new system on it with the rope. The Rome did not come with that. However, the Rome come with something that I think a lot more guys are more excited about than I thought they would be. From working the shows, I've actually got to see that firsthand. But that is the C3 micros. If you're used to the normal cam straps, that's exactly what this is, except it is a micro version. Before I get this thing on the tree, I want to talk to you guys about these C3 micros. Number one, their brake rating is insanely high. I don't even know what the number is, but it's dumb high. But the first thing I want to talk about these before we get them on the tree, and I think it's super important to talk about, and a lot of people skip it, is the stretch value. So you're going to grab it with your hands. It's not going to stretch. But I am going to tell you guys, before you go hunt with these things, pull them out of the package, put them on a tree in your yard, and set your stand on it. And the reason being is the first time you set that thing, it's going to give a little bit. These things are going to stretch a little bit. After that first time, they're not going back to where they used to, and they're not going to stretch anymore. But that first time you put them on there, if you're a big enough guy, it's going to stretch a little bit. So make sure, just like every bit of your equipment, you should be doing it anyways. You need to run this at your house before you go out and get in a tree and run it on the next hunt where you're trying to kill this big giant deer, because you don't want to run into issues and you want it to be a smooth process. And I say that about all products, not just this. But anyways, let's quit talking and get this thing on the tree. Again, the C3 micros come with it, so that's what we're going to use today to put it on the tree. These things work just like your traditional cam strap would. Bring that guy up there like that. That's what you're looking at. And once we get it on the tree, I'll show you kind of how to break them loose, because the first couple of times until these things kind of get stretched out, it could be a little bit difficult. But one end, just like a cam buckle, you've got a loop here. We come around the other side, you have a loop there. You're going to pull this guy and it tightens it. Once you get ready to break it loose, that's what this little guy's for. So instead of having a button, you've got this little guy. And honestly, while we're standing here, you pull it up and out, and that's what you do. But let's go ahead and get this thing put on the tree. All right, so it's kind of shooter preference. Like any of these stands, I personally like to face the buckle towards me. I'll go around, try to keep this as level as possible. Hook this guy back over the eyelet. If any of you guys want to, by the way, see a actual video of just the C3 micro buckle by itself, drop down in the comments below, or any other products that you can think of that you haven't seen me do a review of on my channel. And I will most certainly reach out to the companies and see if I can get my hands on them and try to get a video of those out as well. But these C3s, I didn't know there was going to be so much love for them. I guess hindsight being 2020, it makes sense. It's basically a cam buckle that is a fraction of the weight. So I guess it makes sense that it would be cheaper. So we're going to take that dude, tighten it all the way down there, push it down, cam that dude in, and then I'm going to look at it. Okay, it's got a little down temp on the legs. You back these two guys off, raise this back up, and this is how you make that adjustment over on the side. And again, you would do this on the side of the tree if you were up in the tree. So that's one on there. Again, would get in, kind of use my knee here, toe hook it. And then personally, I'm going to step back off, grab my other C3 here. Try to make it a little bit easier on myself this time. Shorten that joker up, making sure that I go underneath the other one that's hanging there. I don't want to get those two all caught up with each other. All right, got that dude on there. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit and then do the same thing there. Come back up to the top and toe hook that dude in to really bite down both of them. And when they're both bit, you can see there, it's not gonna move. All right, we got this thing all hooked up now. As you can see, I have plenty of room. My top to bottom ratio is good. I have a size 12 shoe. If you can see here, you've got the 16 inches across, so you have plenty of room. Again, with this stand, you have the option to raise it up, be able to lean against the tree and those kind of things. So yeah, guys, that is the Rome. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring you over here a little bit closer so we can actually zoom in on these C3 micro buckles so I can show you how they actually break loose. Whenever I bring it over, I'll kind of show you the top of the seat. So if you're not familiar with the mesh con seats, you can kind of see those as well. What I actually wanted to bring you guys over here, though, about is the actual C3 micro itself. So the first thing, I think the biggest question that I get about these is how to break them loose. And I think there's two key features to them to be able to break them loose. So if you have them on this tree and you just had that weight on there and you're trying to break them loose, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time. But if you will take the stand, take the pressure off of it, now you pull up and away from the tree. As you can see there, that one broke loose, comes off. So what you're going to do with the top one, you're going to take the weight off of it, pull up and away, and again, it loosens it right off. These C3 micros, guys, are just like anything else. Like I said in the beginning of the review, they are something that you're going to have to play with. You're going to get them broke in. No different than if you had a new lineman's rope, new tether, any of that kind of stuff. If you're familiar with the saddle, you need to break these things in. The first time you put it on a tree, you might have to fight that guy a little bit to get it broke loose. Once you get that little bit of stretch in it, it's a little worn in, those things break loose, no problem. And the next big key feature for that, guys, is remember to take the weight off. So if it is cammed in and you try to break that thing loose, it doesn't want to break loose. That's a safety feature. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You don't have to worry about it slipping. But again, when it's on the tree like this, you just take that dude, raise it back up. It'll break loose, no problem. If you have an issue with the top one, just grab it with one hand, hold it upwards so that it puts a little slack in that line, and you can break the top loose as well with no issues. The next thing I was going to talk about real quick before we wrap up this video is the seat. That is a good place to put your C3 micro buckles. Once you put your cushion on there, you can shove them down in here. So yeah, guys, that is the Rome. The next thing I want to talk about while I have it in my hand is up here on the front end of the stand. You can see it over here as well as over here on this side. Those are attachment places, attachment holes, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what the actual technical name for them is. That doesn't seem like a big deal right now. If you get on the website, you start looking for attachments, but I promise you, after January, that's going to make sense, and you're going to be happy that you have them. The pros and the cons as I see them. We always start with the negative so we can end with the positive and with a smile on our face. I'm going to be dead honest with you. The only con that I really have for this thing right out the gate is it doesn't have the orange bar. Everybody hates it. I really like it. I like the orange bar. Really, I was going to have another con because I thought this thing was going to weigh more. But coming in at 7.7 pounds and having the extra material on it, I think is an absolute home run. So we're going to roll right into the positives. Positive, 350-pound weight rating. Positive, they kept the adjustments here and they kept the adjustments in the seat. Positive, the mesh con seat. I swear to God, it is the most common thing that I get emails for out of any product or company that I have done reviews of. I get more emails, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok messages about will one of these stands have a mesh con seat, and this one absolutely. Guys, that's all I've got for y'all today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, go back to that homepage, hit the little bell up top because you're never going to be, or what kind of videos we're going to be doing. And in the next couple of days, I'm going to be dropping a video over the hydro sticks and how compatible they are with these new stands. So make sure you don't miss that. Go back to the homepage, hit the little bell up top. You never know where I'm going to be or what kind of reviews I'm going to be doing. And tomorrow, maybe the next day, I'm going to drop that velvet hunt. Good hunting, guys. We'll see you from a tree.